Ladies, welcome to this video. This is going to be a brief support video when it comes to our challenge, and this is important because I think I mentioned that as far as a minute challenge, I believe this being one of the most important one that you actually have to do, in my opinion, if you want to, if you really think like you want to prioritize your health when it comes to eating more protein. Chances are when it comes to losing weight and keeping it off, one thing that will not only improve your if you want to call it that, like, boost your metabolism, but also boost your satiety. Make sure that for the same amount of calorie and for the same bulk of calorie, you're going to be able to actually get results from it, is actually eating more protein. The issue is that a lot of people know that, but not a lot of people know how to implement these changes inside your life. And this is why I created this mini challenge. And of course, I see that a lot of people are doing it. I really want to a word of encouragement for people that are in this group that think about improving. You're here to actually do something and not just joining a group with doing really anything. Then I really feel like you should take into how do you say, you should take these challenges as something that really almost as a gift that is being given to you, and actually wanting to do it instead of actually just observing. Because the reality is that if you're here, this group is both for people that are inside my courses or programs, or for people that actually are not inside a program as well. And if you're here, I see a couple of people live. Say hi, just mention, here who you are. Good seeing you live, and comment live. If you are watching a replay, you can also comment replay. But as I said before, like when we're talking about challenges and kind of doing the work and understanding that you actually need to take this somewhere, is that you should understand that when you get into a program, like this one, or to a different program, just signing up for a coaching system, or hiring a coach, doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to achieve results. And obviously, good part of it is that you should understand that habits is a huge part of getting a results, and application of the information is a good part of having the results. And for me, for us, we have a very selective process, even in just onboarding you into any of our coaching programs. And obviously, if you're here, and if you are, there's 1,000 plus people inside this group, and you have about 10-15 people doing the challenge, it's a little bit disappointing on seeing that, because realistically speaking, we have about maybe 0.2%, taking advantage of what you should. And obviously, that's a pity, right? And for us, it's kind of like a benchmark. It's like, if you apply for our program in the future, you're probably going to have to explain a little bit why you don't do the free challenges, why you know that you need to eat more protein, and then, like, when it's something given to you like that for free, on top of that, somebody's paid to actually win the challenge, you don't take advantage for it. Because for us, it's like, if I know that you are a good prospect, if I know that you are taking the habits into action, you actually making this thing happen, then it's only a matter of time when you actually see the results coming, right? Even you would not be inside the program. But at the end of the day, when you actually end up joining the program, if you do decide, then I know that you're a good client, you're a coachable. For us, that's key. It's not about you being able to come in or afford something. But with this being said, I wanted to give you some basic action steps and kind of like understand why it's so difficult to hit protein, and kind of like what to do instead. If you're doing this challenge, you know already that you should have already a guide, which I have commented before into our I'm just sharing the actual thing here. You would have commented to one of the things, to one of our posts of the challenge, and you would have downloaded, and you got it either by messenger or inside here, this thing that allows you to actually take care of the one of the two issue when it comes to eating more protein, which is not knowing exactly what to eat, right? And the second thing is of course logistics. So when you're talking about eating protein, more protein, it's like you have to really understand that you have to prioritize protein. The only thing is, like, you need to understand that you have to prioritize it, okay? And when it comes to that, it's like you have to know what a protein source is. And again, here you have all these protein sources that tells you which one is more protein based than other, or let's say how many grams of protein do you get. But also you want to have a respect for the calorie total as well, because like we know that if you get cheddar food, you might have 24 grams of protein, but this is a lot more highly caloric than, for example, a steak, for the fact that you also have a lot of fat in here, right? And therefore, when you look at all this thing, like this is kind of like to give you like an overview, what is mostly to say that you want to have a respect for the calorie amount, which is like, let's say on a salmon, 200 calorie, on a cottage cheese, 83 calorie. And then you want to find the lower calorie, the lower kind of, if you want to lose weight, obviously you want to find the lower calorie option, sorry, and alongside with the higher protein availability possible, right? In this case, it would be, for instance, you see here a very good source is the fillet, the salmon fillet, is the chicken breast. You know what I mean? So you want to go something that is like more like the turkey, like lower in fat and calories and higher in protein, right? As you see on the left here, there is a plate. You always want to just kind of like see it this way. It's like you always want to prioritize the protein whenever you make the meal, right? So it's like protein first in the one side of protein inside the dish. The other half is going to be vegetable or fruit, and then it's going to be a side of fat or a side of carbohydrates, one or the other. Okay, that's a better way, the best way. And again, this one you can find inside our guides. You just click on the guide tab, and you'll find that we put a lot of examples here on how to eat protein, and obviously some go-to quest bars, like stuff that is easy to beef jerky, stuff that is easy to carry around. I mean, this is kind of like the way you have to see it. You have to understand the sources, but you also have to understand that you need to probably plan ahead for some of you. And this is kind of what it is. It's like, this is also another example that, level 1 nutrition shows you how to build this is, for instance, a few examples of, protein source. Like in 2023, obviously, you'll find a bunch of protein-based snacks, like, puddings, I don't know, like yogurts, stuff like that. I mean, like, you'll always find something. If you want to make like a healthy plate, you start with a size of protein, then you make a size of carbohydrates, whatever the case is. Then you have the other half of the plate should be fruit or vegetable. Obviously, if you're a person that this is 100 calories of fruit, if you're a person that needs a lot of food, that you're always hungry, you're probably gonna go with something more, with water-based, like watermelon, like grapes, like strawberry, a lot of fiber, a lot of water. And if you're a person that cannot get down the food because you're like, okay, I cannot eat a lot, then you might want to go with dried fruit or dates, right? That's kind of logical, right? The biggest thing that I see, and obviously when you think about a 500 calorie meal, and you think a side of protein, a side of fat, a side of carb, and maybe a side of veggie, that's kind of like a balanced meal that is gonna be, by nature, is gonna keep you fulfilled. But you always want to prioritize protein first. The logistical part is like, you want to make sure that you either plan before you take snacks with you, or you know what you're gonna cook, and you gotta either cook ahead and then eat it later, or if you cook on the moment, you're really gonna prioritize that protein first and the vegetable inside the meal. The biggest thing that I see is like people in general not really using logic, and thinking more so, okay, what do I want to eat? And then they're like, okay, maybe they need to lose 10, 20, 30 kilo, and then they're like eating bacon and eggs, right? I mean, the eggs part is fine, but if you just get like bacon, and then maybe rather than just eat on the morning, let's say hot meal or something like that, or maybe like something, high volume fruit, they go for, chia seeds, dried fruits. They go from very, very dry, food choices that has a lot of calorie, a lot of fat. And just for the fact that they were sold this idea that it's healthy because avocado is healthy, because chia seeds are healthy, they use no logic, okay? So logic always comes first. If you need more protein, chances are you need to just eat it more often and more frequent, and kind of like prioritize it first. And it comes from either planning ahead, I mean, knowing exactly what to eat. So I saw a few posts that are, for instance, there is a lot of protein in the food, but it's also a lot of fat, a lot of cheese, a lot of things that includes maybe vegetable protein, that includes a lot of grains, but then those grains includes a lot of calorie, a lot of fat as well. So you want to always like know what are protein-based food first, and then choose them, prioritize it in the meal. And if you plan ahead because you need to cook, then you just want to either prepare in advance or take it with you when it comes to snack. It's really easy to do when you practice, but this is why it requires practice. And when you have a mini challenge that has been done for you inside a group for free, it's really dumb not to take it. Okay, so just start posting. We just started. We're still gonna have until next Tuesday, so you have plenty of time. So you can post multiple times a day. Just go ahead and post. And obviously, if you need help from me, you just tag me or you comment down below. Bye-bye and take care.